Pylon listeners, welcome back as we are getting ready for Week 16 of the NFL season. That's right, Week 16. There's only 2 weeks left of the NFL season, and there's a lot to discuss here in regards to the NFC North. So let's go around. I'm Big Z representing the Detroit Lions. Let's go to the rest of the crew. We got Remy representing the Vikings.
Minnesota, keep your heads up. Justin Jefferson's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. Then let's go to Barney representing the Bears.
The Bears have scored 30-plus points in 3 straight games for the first time in 7 years, Chicago. Bill Lazor? Laser focused.
And then last but not least, Kinger representing the Packers.
Boys, good to be back, coming to you from a remote session tonight. Not at home, but big week. Excited to talk football. Huge week for the Green Bay Packers.
Absolutely, Kinger. This is a huge week for the Packers, and we'll get into all of that as we progress. So let's take this in order of the game. So, Remy, we get blessed with a Christmas NFL football game. The Vikings traveling to New Orleans. And the Vikings clinging on to minimal playoff hopes. So, first of all, do you have any news to report about the Vikings? And just what are your gut feelings about this game in Minnesota? And are you happy it's on Thanksgiving? Or, Christmas.
So, let me first off start by saying 'tis the season to be injured. We have 11 guys on the injury report right now. It's just, we had our meaningful playoff game last week against the Bears, and I use that term playoff game because that's what Harrison Smith quoted it as, a playoff game. Every week from then on out, last week was a playoff game. Our chances decreased. Viking fans, there's still 4% chance hope. Bears have to lose 1. Cardinals have to lose out, and we have to win out. So if that happens, we're in the playoffs. If that doesn't happen, history repeats itself, and we miss again every other year. But this game, no, it's always a great game against the Saints, and what better way than Christmas Day? And the last time we were in New Orleans was in the playoffs on a beautiful Kirk fade to Rudolph, who did not push off. And there's always bad blood between these two teams, and it goes back to 2009 with the whole Bounty Gate. We never root for the Saints and we never root for the Packers. Those are kind of top two. If you're a Minnesota Viking fan, I think I can speak for most. But no, it seems as if the Saints always get us in the regular season, but come postseason, if we're there, we always get them. So It's nice to have a game on a holiday. I'll be working, but I'll for sure be getting off in time for this game, no matter if we're in or out of the playoffs. But just what you like seeing forward is our rookies, cornerbacks progressing. Cam Dantzler is now the highest graded rookie per PPF cornerback, I believe. So it's great. He was hurt a couple games, and it's just you gotta like seeing young guys step up, and hopefully Kirk not throwing the game away. And you just want a competitive game, With that being said, I got it. You have to take Minnesota in like a 28-21. I know Vegas, I think the over is like 51.5, but I'm gonna say Minnesota takes this 28-21.
So, Remy, I just wanted to ask you really quickly, how do you feel about this Minnesota defense going against the likes of Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray? Definitely a top-tier rushing attack after what we saw with David Montgomery last week with Chicago.
Yeah, I have PTSD from that David Montgomery game. You're not wrong with the top two, running back tandem. Minnesota, when he had Tay-Train, Choo-Choo, was good with Dalvin Cook, but Alvin Kamara is certainly, you argue who the best running backs are today, this season, and you're going to say, in no particular order, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, or, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara. But I absolutely hate Kamara with a burning passion, because after the Minnesota Miracle, He whined and said that Minnesota was a bunch of bitches and all this stuff. And he talks so much shit. And, we got to just kick him out of the playoffs every year. And I hate Kamara. I hate him. I cannot stand him. Dalvin Cook will forever be better than you, Alvin Kamara. And if you ever hear this,
you told him. You told him, Remy.
But I told him it's concerning though with our guys like Eric Hendricks is probably going to be done for the year. Why bring him back if and we can't stop the run at this point, so who knows? He might have a field day and end up getting the last laugh. But I'm still going with my 28.
All right, Kinger. I mean, how do you feel about this Minnesota team going against a New Orleans team that's kind of up and down lately? But Drew Brees back in the fold.
Yeah, I love to see Breeze back in action. And I just think it really just depends on what kind of Minnesota team is going to show up, right? Minnesota's obviously got their backs against the wall in regards to their hopes for making the playoffs. It's still possible. But they still got a lot of young guys out there who are still trying to prove their worth. So you hope that Minnesota is going to come out fired up, ready to play. I'm definitely going to be rooting for Minnesota this week, as I'd love to see the Saints take another loss to help out the Packers even further with getting up that locking down that playoff seed. But if they can run the ball, I don't see a reason why Minnesota can't compete if their guys, are come up fired up, ready for the challenge, ready to play.
What do you have in this game?
Obviously I'm going to take the Saints, but I do think Minnesota has the ability to compete. So I'm going to go 24-16 New Orleans.
All right. Let's throw it over to Barney here. And I forgot to mention, Barney, really quick. The Vikings are 7-point underdogs right now, and the over-under is 51.5.
Yeah, I just can't see this game going in Minnesota's fashion. I think it'll be competitive. I don't think it'll be any sort of blowout. I think the Vikings will get up for this game for sure. But I think the Saints are a complete team, and they're a tough out, especially in the Superdome. So I'm gonna say, let's go 30-24.
Ooh, all right, and I agree kind of with the sentiment going on here that Minnesota, is still definitely a tough team to play. New Orleans, what we've seen out of them lately isn't necessarily encouraging, especially from a defensive standpoint. So I do think this will be a close game. And we'll be given a gift of an entertaining football game here on Christmas Day. I'm going to go 31-28 New Orleans, though. New Orleans with the win, unfortunately, Remy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Remy. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on. No, Big Z.
I can't do it. I can't pull the trigger.
Big Z. I thought you for sure with the 3 points.
Whoa, no.
Walk it off. Come on, Big Z.
Oh, I can't. I can't put my reputation
root for your
on
Lions day
Dan
in
Bailey's
and day
leg
out.
here.
You got to think the Saints are going to be fired up this week.
If that happens in Minnesota's favor,
I mean, yeah, more power to you if it happens,
drop.
buddy. But I can't go there, unfortunately.
maybe I wish there was a player.
Will Dan
prop
Bailey
for
miss
that.
a field
It
goal?
probably is. Walk off game winner by Dan.
I think in the Super Bowl you might find that, but I don't know about a regular season game. That would be fun though.
Right. Yeah.
So let's move on to the next game. Now this is a Saturday afternoon game. So we got Friday on Christmas. Now we got a Saturday the day after Christmas. I like that the NFL allowed Lions fans to enjoy their holiday and then put the game the day after Christmas. That was really nice of them to do. And they threw it like on noon when everybody's still kind of like hungover from the holiday, and they're just like, "Oh, there's football on," type thing. Like, "Oh, that's nice." I guess I'll watch this train wreck of a defense. But man, so the Lions taking on Tampa Bay, 9.5-point underdogs, and I'd probably lean towards Tampa Bay here. I was the best defensive performance that Patricia ever put up in his time in Detroit was when they played the Patriots on Sunday Night Football, and I don't see a repeat performance of that, unfortunately. Here, our defense has gone down the tubes even faster since then. So there's not a lot of time to spend on this analysis of this game because it's going to be a walk a walk in the park for Tampa Bay, I feel. So I'm going to say 34-21. I think the Lions could get 3 touchdowns out of this, but I think Tampa Bay is going to cover that. I just want to throw in there as well, though, that I don't know if you guys saw this, but the NFL changed their rule today where starting next Monday, or I think tomorrow, teams can start requesting interviews with coaches that are currently employed by other teams. Now, those teams can deny the interviews until after the season's over, but this usually happens after the Super Bowl, not during the middle of the season. So that's something new, and I think we'll see some news coming down the line about who the Lions are interested in.
Well, last year, if I may add, going into the San Francisco game, so the game before the NFC Championship, Kevin Stefanski was already offered the head coaching job in Cleveland as he was our offensive coordinator. So I hate it. Yeah, I absolutely cannot stand it. That should be tampering because you've just been offered a job going into, you're getting a promotion. Does it, I mean, obviously you want to get to the Super Bowl that year if you're already this far in the playoffs, but does it have some psychology on it? I just let it be done after the season because Stefanski's probably the best play caller we've had on offense in years, and we get, one good year with them, and he's already got a gig, when we're potentially 2 games away from the Super Bowl. It's complete bullshit. It's complete tampering, and I effing hate it.
Very passionate about that, Remy. I like it. I love the passion, baby. But I mean,
I just had to sound off.
The
quick.
thing with these coaches, they want to know if they're going to be hired as soon as possible too, because there's a humongous staff to build and do it ASAP because other teams are doing the same thing. So it's a battle to grab all these guys that you want on your staff. So
are you in hopes? Are the Lions going long term with?
No. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Oh, I don't think
so. Do you want the?
You know what? I forgot to mention
Kansas
since the last podcast, the Lions fired their special teams coordinator. I don't know if you guys saw that. Braden Combs. The Lions ran a fake punt midway through the third quarter against the Tennessee Titans, and apparently the special teams coordinator called the fake punt without knowledge of Darren Bevel or his approval. And, of course, anybody knows like a fake like that usually comes from the head coach, not from the special teams coordinator, unless he has specific permission to do so. So going over your boss's head, not a good idea. That'll always get you fired no matter what job it is, NFL or otherwise.
I'm guessing he didn't.
No, we were short, too. We were short
by
by half a yard, and it looked like he got it, but we didn't review it. But nonetheless, we did not.
Big Z, what's the injury report look like for you guys? Is Stafford good? Did he look good last week? I mean, I know he's dealing with some shit.
Oh, he looked great. I don't know if did you guys see the GIF going around of him looking to the right pylon and throwing the ball over the middle for a touchdown? Did any of you guys see that? Because he's fine. What I'm trying to say is that he's fine.
No, I did not.
He'll be ready to go. Obviously, Kenny Galladay, all our usual injuries. Trey Flowers, they're all out. But we'll have our shitty defense out there, whatever's left of it. But Stafford will be playing. So if you're thinking about taking the over, that's definitely a factor. And Marvin Jones is still healthy. Amendola. So, but as far as Stafford, good to go. So let's move on to our third game now. Oh, wait, whoa, shoot. I need your quick predictions here. Let's go around really quickly. Barney.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah, we need predictions.
Yeah, I know.
We need some predictions.
Yeah, we don't gotta.
I know he's just
spend too much time
trying to
on
move
this,
on as quick as
because
possible.
my line
He
sucks.
doesn't want to make.
Let me start it off, if you will. I'm going to go 31-28 in favor of the Lions.
What?
As a walk-off field goal. Thank me later.
I don't know if I'm going to thank you. I kind of want to lose for the better draft.
You want Wilson, especially at this game versus UCF.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
a hot
say
take,
Tampa Bay
or
wins
it
this
could be
one
cold.
decidedly. I think it'll be 2 scores. Any way you want to draw it up. I think Tampa Bay and Tom's probably feeling pretty shitty after a shitty first half versus Atlanta. And Tom's a tough competitor, and he's gonna just destroy that Detroit defense. It's gonna be 38-20.
All right, Kinger.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the other side of Tom Brady after that performance last week either. This screams absolute blowout to me. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 38-21.
Ooh. All right. So a little closer one there from you. I mean, the Lions have battled. It's just that their defense is just horrible. I don't like the matchup of Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, and Chris Godwin against our secondary. It's piss poor. It's a bad secondary right now that we have. All right, so let's move on to the third game on the slate here, and this is on Sunday at a normal time at noon on a Sunday. The Bears are they're traveling to Jacksonville, right, Barney?
Yeah, we're traveling to Jacksonville. We're 7.5-point favorites.
All right. So, I mean, how you feeling? This is a Jaguars team that suddenly is now the first overall pick. So you would think, they're trying to tank here, right?
I mean, I totally think Vegas is in on this, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville is not trying to tank here. I threw up some sarcastic air quotes there for all of our listeners, but the way I'm looking at this looks like the Nick Saban tune-up game before the Iron Bowl. Last year it was versus Kentucky when they put up 60 points on them. The year before that was Western Carolina, the Catamounts, when they put up 66 on them, and Citadel 33. At the end of the year, it was going to be in Soldier Field with Green Bay. I thought it might be for the division title. Obviously not. But if it can spoil Green Bay from getting that bye, I think it's just as important. And especially the Bears definitely need to win these next two out. Dude, it's tough for me to think this is not going to be a close game. If you would have caught me, 2 weeks ago before I'm riding this super awesome high of Bears actually playing a solid 4 quarters for, 3 or 4 games straight, I might have said that this is going to get ugly. It might have been a tight game like Green Bay when they faced Jacksonville, but I'm not going to go there. James Robinson, he's an undrafted rookie. He's got 1,000 yards on the year, 7 TDs. He hurt his ankle though last week, and reports are saying that he's questionable for this game, and that'll definitely hurt them. As if they're even going to try to lose the gift that the Jets just gave them. They're averaging 230 yards through the air and 99 through the ground. They're 17 points for, 30 against. I think this is a good matchup for Chicago. This is a game where everybody's just got to start peaking here. We got to blow right through these guys and head to Soldier Field for that Week 17 game with Green Bay. I think Mitchie touchdowns, Mitchie hard count over there, Jeremy Valen. I think Mitch throws for 3 touchdowns for the 6th time in his career. I think David Montgomery tops 100 yards. I'm excited for this game. I think the Bears blow out a shitty team like they should, 31-13.
Ooh.
Yeah, I need to say something here. Okay. All right. Well, about 3-4 weeks ago, we were on the same podcast as we do, weekly. And I remember a certain Bear, and I've been guilty, but maybe to a little less degree. I remember a certain Bears fan who said, blow everything up. Everybody, he's just going to ride the wave until it blows up in his face. And all of a sudden, because he can beat Minnesota and put 30 up for 3 games straight, they're now the hottest commodity on the market. Barney, We ride the lows, we ride the highs, man. What has you pumped? Is this Bears team for real, or is it going to be you barely get in and then you're one and done, but at least you made the playoffs? Mitch still doesn't get a win. How much expectation do you have for the Chicago Bears team?
A couple weeks ago that we're going to the Super Bowl. I have some theories.
You really don't think that
conspiracy season, right? I have some conspiracies.
Vegas
here
involved,
that,
right?
I think the Bears knew that they were a good team, and they jumped out to a 5-1 lead early through ugly games, I'll admit, but they were like, you know what? This isn't how we want to go into the playoffs. We want to be the underdog teams. We want to be like the Giants when they upset the Patriots, a 9-7 wild card team. We want to be like the Philly Eagles when they were the underdogs all the way through when they upset the Patriots. And we went on our 6-game losing streak, and I'll tell you, I was in the pits of despair. But and I wanted everything blown up, and for the most part, I still do. But at least from a coaching perspective, I tip the cap to Nagy for giving up play calling, and since then, we're looking like a much better team. I know our defense is kind of suffering a little bit, but if we just get healthy and we peak at the right times, you never want to face a really good defense, in the playoffs. And I'll say this: Nagy in his first, I don't know whatever games, up until he gave up the play callings, he had never gotten 100 yards out of Montgomery. And since then, Montgomery's got 3 straight games with 100 yards. I just think it's better play calling. It's less gimmicks. I always just said, like, it doesn't take a really good offense to win with this Bears team. I think as long as the Bears defense puts us in good field position, a couple first downs should be a score, and that's enough. And when you're facing a tough defense, sometimes the 20-point mark is all you really got to cross. I'm looking forward to the Bears stepping on the throats of a really bad team. I really want to see that. I don't want to see a close game. If we're gonna be for real, we got to go out there and punch them in the throat, and actually have Green Bay, whether they need to win or lose in Week 17. We need to have Green Bay kind of worried. As far as the Bears go, dude, I'm Super Bowl. The NFC is a bust. NFC's, you don't know who you're gonna get. Let's go.
Rebby, what do you think? What do you think's gonna happen in this?
I can't knock it. I would be saying the same thing if I was in his position in Minnesota won. I can't knock it. I guess all I have.
You know what I would really like? I would like Derrick Henry to absolutely run all over Green Bay this week. And then Green Bay come into Week 17 and be like, Aaron Rodgers, like, there's no better team I like to face than the Bears. Like, that fucking loser. And I just hope the Bears go in there and we beat the shit out of them, and New Orleans gets the bye, and Green Bay gets bounced by one of the good running football teams in the first round.
That's a conspiracy theory I can get behind.
Let's hear some predictions. What do you guys think this game's going to be like?
Yeah, let's shoot it over to Remy there.
Well, for the sake of the Bears, I still have this ongoing $50 bet. So I'm going to rule opposite of the Bears and say they take the L. We're going to go an ugly game just like Barney likes them, 16
hedge
to
your
18.
bet and bet on the Bears. That way you're going to even out.
Yeah, right.
Don't double down, especially with the Jags.
You never know. You're right, though. That's a smart thing to do.
I mean, I personally like what I'm seeing out of this Bears team lately. I think the Jaguars are probably saying internally to basically just put let's just run simple plays, make it look like we're trying out there, but really we're going for the number 1 overall pick here and a rare chance at a superstar quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. So I'm going to say that the Bears win this one 30-17.
And I do want to say that right now Jacksonville is, setting up interviews, and I think the front runner is Louis Riddick going over there. I think, right now this is a big sales pitch. Right now for all the guys that want to be a GM, if you're going to start over with a new team, they're not expecting Jacksonville to be, even with Trevor Lawrence, to be great right out of the gates. You're given a couple years. I mean, I don't understand how you could let this opportunity go and try to be competitive this week.
Yeah. Kinger, last thoughts here?
Yeah, I just absolutely love the mindset. Love the mindset that Bears fans have here, right? I mean, this is where we're at. They wanted to blow the ship up a few weeks ago. Now they're going to the Super Bowl. They've got belief. They're not scared of the Packers anymore, right? Aaron Rodgers, he's never had any success against the Bears ever, right? That's the way that we're having this conversation. And in this week would be a perfect setup for me normally, where I would pick against the Bears and Jacksonville coming out and competing. But the fact that they do have control of that number 1 seed and the opportunity to get Trevor Lawrence, there's no way that they're going in there to win this football game. I'd like the Bears kind of in a blowout as well. I still don't think that offense scores as many points as everybody thinks. I'll say 27-14 Chicago, but you got to like the way the momentum the Bears are going. You just got to hope they're not looking too far ahead to Green Bay week 17, because you know that's definitely on their mind already.
So Barney, a lot of people expecting cakewalk for the Bears. Hopefully they are also not thinking that coming into the game. It could be one of those classic trap games that you don't see coming. Their season's over before you know it.
Over.
So let's go to the last game on the slate here. Kinger, that's your Green Bay Packers hosting the Tennessee Titans. I mean, we just saw what the Titans offense did to the Lions defense, and I'm not saying the Packers defense is the Lions defense, but this is a high-powered offense coming into Green Bay, and especially in the ground game, but also there's A.J. Brown. Corey Davis has had a resurgent year. How do you feel about this Titans team, especially this offense, against this Packers defense?
My gut tells me that we're going to have a pretty high-scoring football game this week. You mentioned it right there. The weapons on the Titans offense, they're not to be reckoned with, right? They got some players out there. Obviously, Derrick Henry's in a league of his own in regards to running back caliber, having an excellent year. On track to potentially hit, the 2,000-yard rush mark. It doesn't look like he's going to in line to hit Barry Sanders' record this year, but 2K is definitely still in play. Running like an absolute monster right now, and definitely from the Packers side, from the Packers perspective, you got to be concerned about that. A.J. Brown having a great year, and the reason why I think the Titans are so successful is obviously their ability to mix run and pass. Off play action this year, Ryan Tannehill is actually the number 1 rated quarterback. So when you have to load the box versus Derrick Henry, it really opens up the outside, as we all know. And now the Titans really have some players out there. They really are deadly on the offensive side. Jonnu Smith's a very underrated athletic tight end as well. So from that perspective, it's going to take an effort from Green Bay's defense that we maybe haven't seen yet this year. I want to give some credit to them because over the last few weeks, I have seen some improvement. I think, it does appear that our scheme is changing slightly in regards to some of the things we've been doing and some of the critiques in regards to sagging off and some of the zone coverages we were playing early in the season. They've only allowed, I think Montgomery was the last 100-yard rusher we've had. The rush defense has been a lot better, but obviously this is a monumental challenge this week, and we're gonna see how we handle it. It's going to be a very interesting thing to watch, and I think the other side of the ball brings the same questions.
I mean,
in regards
that
to
Titans defense.
Packers and their
I think
ability
Aaron
to score on
Rodgers
that
is going to have a
Titans
field
defense.
day, Kinger. The Titans defensive line has not gotten a sack in 11 straight quarters. So that's got to be an encouraging sign to you, especially with the Packers' offense or pass blocking already.
Yeah,
one
that's
of the tops in the league.
Definitely. A little bit of a rough performance in the second half last week versus the Panthers from that offensive line, letting up a few sacks. But this season they've been very solid and one of the best in the NFL. And like you mentioned, that stat alone, around 11 quarters in a row without a sack. They haven't had a pass rush. We've seen historically what Rodgers can do when you give him time. And just another thing that I came across today, the Titans defense is 32nd on third down, and they're 30th in the red zone this year. The Packers offense is third in the league on third down conversions, and they're first in the red zone. So those are both critical stats that obviously teams have been on the opposite side of spectrums with that. So it's going to be a fun matchup, right? Like I said, I can honestly see it being very similar to that Lions-Titans game last week. I think we're going to get some scoring just like that, a lot of possessions. But we're going to see who can step up and make the big plays, and I'm expecting hopefully for some more continuity out of that Packers offense this week. Let's bring that run game back. Let's try and control the time of possession, because the last thing we want is the Titans controlling that and allow Derrick Henry to potentially get hot and start running all over us, and then we get burned in the play action. We do not want that.
Definitely. So what are you feeling for this game? What's the prediction?
This is tough, boys. I mean, the line I think I'm seeing is at 3.5. And I think this is a field goal game, to be honest. We're going to say a lot of possessions, like I said. I don't know that both of your teams are going to go over 30. I do think, at least on the Packers side, I want to believe that we have enough defensive playmakers, if our linebackers play well, to make some stops, and hopefully Tannehill cools off a little bit after last week. So I like the over, but not by much. So I'm going to take 30-27 Green Bay at home. And one thing I did want to mention now outside of that prediction, because I did mention it last week while I got it. So just for the playoff seeding for Green Bay, I had mentioned that New Orleans losing, we do have the game up on them, but the team that I did forget about was Seattle. So Seattle's still in play. So the scenario is, if Green Bay loses this week and New Orleans and Seattle loses, they can sit all of their starters week 17 in need be. They don't need a win versus the Bears to get that number 1 seed. If Seattle beats the Rams this week, it doesn't matter at all if what happens in that New Orleans game, because Seattle can still get us on conference record if we don't beat Chicago in week 17. So this is a big win. We need some other things to happen in order for really to secure that number 1 position, but obviously getting that Tennessee win and hoping some of our counterparts can take care of business the way they need to. We'll see what happens going into that last game versus the Bears.
All right. Remy, how do you feel this game's going to go? I'm sure you're all over the Packers, right?
So Tennessee is going to beat the fucking shit out of Green Bay. And it's going to be just fucking so great. Derrick Henry's going to rush for 207 on him. And I'm going to just be sitting back, laughing. And it's going to be great. Let's give it 34-24. We'll give you a 10-point loss, but I guess that's not really beating the shit. But if you beat Green Bay by 10, I'm going to call it just getting the shit kicked out of you. I'm sorry, Kinger. You know my rules. I hate the Packers. It's in my blood. But I'm going to go Tennessee on this one, buddy.
Wouldn't expect anything else, Remy, at this point. That's the way she goes.
I love it.
And as you can tell, I'm very bitter.
Let's go to Barney.
I'm going to echo some of those thoughts in Minnesota right now. There's just a time in the year that you don't want to face a linebacker turned running back, and that's when it's cold weather. I think Derrick Henry goes for 200. I think the over-under for as concussed defenders on Green Bay is 2.5. I'm going to hit the over. I think Darnell Savage is going to get his head blown into the second row of the stands by one of King Henry's knees. It's as long as the refs don't continue to only help Green Bay, I think this should be a 2-score game. But I'm going to say a very exciting, down to the wire, 38-34 Titans.
Oh, man. Wow, a lot of anti-Packer love here, Kinger. Shocker.
Apparently, everybody's in belief that the Titans' offense is the signature offense instead of the Packers offense.
I mean, this Titans game can be a little hot and cold on offense, but I mean, what we saw in the second half last week against Carolina is a little concerning, Kinger.
No doubt.
With the Packers offense. But having said that, I think this Titans defense is really, really bad. I like the fact that the Packers are the home team here. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 31-28 victory for the Packers here. It's gonna be close, but I do like the Packers offense a little more against this Titans defense than vice versa.
I love it, Big Z. I love it.
Edge.
The only guy on Tennessee I am worried about is Gutskowski, and I don't want him kicking too many field goals in Green Bay. I will probably say that I think Gutskowski's gonna miss 1 to 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's a good point too, Barney. That's definitely a good point. But I think the Packers win, but it's still going to be a meaningful game in Week 17 for the Bears and Packers. And when is that game supposed to be played right now? Is it noon?
I think it is early.
Usually they put the Sunday night game, but only if like both teams know like that they have to be competitive. Like it's not like you see the results early in the day and then you still have to play the game. So I think that would be a noon game if they did play, or a 3:00 game. Anyways, let's move on now to the final segment here. And that, of course, we're recording this a little earlier. Christmas is coming up and everything like that. But we're going to do best bets. So, Barney, let's throw it over to you. We only got 2 weeks left. I guess we include the playoffs. We'll include the playoffs in there. But, Barney, what do we got with the standings here?
All right. Down in the cellar is Kinger, but he did just go 3-0 last week.
Kinger,
So
baby, let's go.
The kid's hot.
Ha-ha.
And tied for second
Let's go, boys.
is Big Z
Thanks.
and Remy.
It means a lot you acknowledge that, Barney. It really does.
Hey, I gotta give you a little love.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, right? That's what they say.
And yours truly is your 15 consecutive weeks winner here. I'm just gonna say I like a lot of games this week. It's hard for me to choose.
Who's gonna fuck up your parlay this week, Barney?
Dude. Well, you know what? Just because he said that, I did like Indianapolis -2 at Pitt, but I'm not a big grudge guy because grudges get you fucked up. Let me think through this here. I think the most obvious one, the Chicago Bears. We're laying a touchdown and a hook. I don't understand how this team has turned things around, but I think Gardner Minshew and the Jacksonville Jaguars aren't going to want to come out after halftime. Whether it's a low-scoring game or a high-scoring game, that 7.5 is going to cover, baby. Chicago,
and I love
-7.5. The second game, I'm going to go Tampa Bay, -9.5 at Detroit.
Fuck you, Barney. Fuck you.
Like I said, Tom Brady is probably still pissed off. He probably didn't kiss his kids goodnight since that first half in Atlanta. He wants redemption so that his kids will love him again. And you got that offense, and Big Z talked about it. You got that offense with your rundown defense. I can't see that being closer than 9.5 points. I would hate for Stafford to be a backdoor cover right here, but
Stafford's a classic backdoor cover. He's an all-timer right there.
He does
so
worry me.
Watch out, man. He's coming for you.
And I don't think Green Bay can get it done versus a really good rushing team.
Wow, it's one of your best three.
And Tennessee has a shitty defense, but Green Bay will not be able to cover 3.5. I'm going Tennessee +3.5 in Lambeau. Bear down.
I feel like that was an emotional bet.
That may have been.
All his best bets are NFC North ones here, and two going against our team's kinger and then one for his team. So I don't know if he's been more emotionally over here this week. I like it for myself. Let's move over to Remy now. Remy, you've moved in a second and tied with me, man. You were way behind me. Now you've caught up over the last 2 weeks. So are you going to stay hot here? What do you got?
Yeah, right now I'm just mainly focused on dethroning the whatever 15 straight accolade he gave himself. So we need to do that. We need to dethrone that. But starting off, you can't steal second base without your foot off first. That being said, my best bets. All right, San Francisco. I like San Francisco, baby. We got the former Iowa Hawkeye, CJ Beathard, stepping in, who I believe in his rookie preseason game had like a 98-yard rushing touchdown, and he is not a runner, so he was gassed after that. But no, I like the Niners to at least cover 4.5 points against the Cardinals, and the Cardinals have to lose. So whether the Cardinals win or not, I think San Fran can stick around in this game. So I got San Fran plus 4.5. The next game, I'm going to take a little bit of advice from you, Barney. You said the Giants have been known to cover all year, and I look at that 10.5 point spread, and I think, why not? So I'm going to take the Giants plus 10.5. And then last but certainly not least, I just got Cleveland to cover their 9.5 minus 9.5 against the Jets. I think the Jets beating the Rams was a one-time thing, and I do believe in this Cleveland team is going to be good at the right time, and this right time is going to be beating the Jets by at least 10 points.
All right. And I just want to circle back to that for a moment. Remy, what is that? I've never heard that phrase before. To take a step off first to get the second.
Hey, you got to lead off somehow, and that's how we're doing it.
Is that what they say? Is that what they say in Northwest Iowa?
We're Northeast Iowa.
Northeast Iowa. Sorry, Northeast. Yeah.
Come on, that tri-state area.
Yeah. Oh, boy. All right, Kinger. Let's throw it over to you, man. 3-0. You're red hot. Are you going to keep it going?
Absolutely. You know it. It only took me this long to get my first undefeated week, but we're just going to keep it rolling, although there is a little bit of an emotional bet coming here. So I was dogging Barney earlier, and we'll see if this comes to fruition. But I'm going to take the first game I got. I'm going to take the red-hot Miami Dolphins. I know the Raiders played a pretty good game last week against the Chargers, but the Dolphins are laying 2.5 in Las Vegas. I like the momentum they're going. If Tua can just seems like if he could just get another weapon on that offensive end and maybe throw the ball down the field a little bit more, I still believe that this Dolphins team has a little bit more potential than what they've shown. We already know that defense is good, so I'm going to take them this week.
Yeah. Devontae Parker's not playing in that game.
Oh, he's not. I'm still rolling with it. We're still going Dolphins. I didn't know that, but I'm still going to hit that. I'm also on the Bears this week again. I hate it, but if I fully believe Jacksonville is just going to lay down. There's no reason for them to compete in this game. The Bears are on momentum, have a good momentum. There's no reason they shouldn't win by more than 7.5 versus a very sketchy, very below average football team. And then the last game, just for the emotional part of it, the Rams just lost to the Jets last week, but they are 2-point underdogs versus Seattle this week. I like them to bounce back. I also really want them to win because I want Seattle to lose, but I think Sean McVay makes some changes there. There's no way they come out flat after getting embarrassed last week by the Jets. I like them come out fired up, ready to play, and I might even sprinkle money line, but they're gonna cover the 2.
All right. So if you think Kinger's really on a heater, follow his advice
Absolutely.
right there. So I'm gonna come in here and wrap this up. So I agree with Barney about the Bears here. I don't like that. I don't know why the spread is so low. I would expect it to be around kind of like where the Lions line is right now against the Buccaneers at 9.5. Maybe because the Bears are on the road here. I'm not sure what it is, but I love the Bears at 7.5 point favorites. I'd take that all the way up to 9.5. I think I'd take it all the way up to 9.5. The second one I like is the Colts. 2-point favorites, against the Steelers. This Steelers team does not look good. They don't look like they have the solution coming anytime soon. Besides maybe who is it? Oh no, Juju Smith-Schuster doing the dances on the logo. Luckily he's at home, so there's no dancing on any opponent's logo this week.
Life comes at you quick.
And before I get to the last pick here, I just want to mention something really quick. Did you guys see Dwayne Haskins this week?
Oh my God! What a knucklehead, dude! Especially because he didn't even have a great game.
I know, but if somebody didn't see the story, there's two pictures. There's like all these strippers wearing Dwayne Haskins jerseys while like watching the game, and then there's a picture later at night with Dwayne Haskins hanging out with the strippers with no mask on. Oh, he's like throwing cash at the one girl's ass or something like that in the picture. It's a weird photo, but
that guy like,
what is he doing?
He just got given Rivera's good graces to play again. Yeah. I don't understand how that knucklehead does something so idiotic.
This is after last year when he beat the Lions and he was taking a selfie in the stands instead of taking the last knee out of the game. So he continues to just be an idiot and self-sabotaging his own career.
In the wise words of Cardale Jones, a fellow Ohio State alum, he didn't come here to play school.
Exactly. And then so I need my third one here. Oh, this third one's tough. You know what? I gotta go with the Browns. Yeah, 9.5. I agree. I think that Jets game was a one-off for sure. I think this Browns team is still playing really good, and they're going to dominate both in the ground and in the air in this game. Baker Mayfield, if you haven't watched him lately, he's playing like a former first-round draft pick. Whatever happened last year with Freddie Kitchens, he's definitely turning around here, especially in the second half of the season. So second half of the season, Baker Mayfield looking really good. And I just want to throw out to there, I don't know if my buddy Pod is going to listen to this one, but I want to bet with him. When Baker Mayfield was drafted, I said he's going to be really good. He thought Baker Mayfield was going to be Johnny Manziel 2.0. So what I bet him was that Baker Mayfield would win 10 games in a regular season and make the playoffs as a Brown starter. So I'm going to pay off on that bet this week. So congrats to me and Pod,
congrats
if you're
to
listening. Too bad. So I think that's going to wrap it up here. Christmas is coming up, so we want all our listeners to enjoy the holidays as much as they can. So Instagram at The Pylon, Twitter at The Pylon Pod, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Please subscribe there. Please share this, and please leave a review on Apple. We really appreciate it. But otherwise, gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoy your holidays. Remy, I guess enjoy yours, depending on the outcome of that game. So enjoy your morning, Remy. Enjoy your morning before it starts getting a little more stressful in the evening for you.
Game starts at 3:30, so I might skip Christmas dinner if I'm at a loss of appetite.
There's this thing, Remy, called a mobile phone where you can watch games on it now, and you can sit at the table and watch it, and also you can multitask now, unless you're not about the phone life watching games. I don't know.
Any which way I can watch a Viking game, I'll get
it. Fair enough. All right, gentlemen. So Merry Christmas to you guys. Merry Christmas to our listeners. And we'll reconvene shortly after these games wrap up on Sunday. I'm sure there'll be a lot to discuss. So for Barney, Remy, Kinger, I'm Big Z. Thank everybody for listening, and happy holiday.
And for all those Dewhawks out there, Greg Gumbel calling the Bears game. Dewhawks support Dewhawks. Come on, Greg. Come on, Greg.